Welcome to Book Date with You, the platform where we recommend the best book to you. Today is episode 11616, and today Joyce is going to introduce these books to you. Healthy Boundaries by Chase Hill. So let me introduce who is Chase Hill. Chase Hill is a life coach and a social interaction specialist and has spent over a decade researching psychology with a focus on mental attitude, emotional resilience, and assertiveness and boundary settings in the modern world. His other books, How to Stop Overthinking, is a book which has taken the number one spot in Amazon's in both US and UK. So let's start with the book's introduction.
Okay. When it comes to healthy boundaries, this is a topic, this is a subject that I deep dive into recently. So that's the reason why when I go to shop for books, and this book really stand out for me. So that's the reason why I actually take a very slow, even though it's not a very thick book, I take a very slow drive to discover this book, you know. So I will share with you later on why. So if you never ever set your boundaries, you will end up doing things that you make you unhappy or even depressed. This is something very key. Sometimes we need to really alert ourselves because you can't say no for fear of hurting someone. But it seems like easier for you to say yes despite hurting yourself. Because this is something, very key when we know that if you have the lack of boundaries, it is actually showing you the lack of respect. This is something so incredible important for you to dwell in. If someone shows the lack of boundaries with you, actually it invites the lack of respect. So this is one sentence from the book that I really want to highlight for you, and it really hit to my heart. It's talking about stop asking why they keep doing it and start asking why you keep allowing it. I repeat, stop asking why they keep doing it and start asking why you keep allowing it. This is such an eye-opening sentence for me. Even though it's like sometimes I keep asking why people do this, why, I can't keep that boundaries. So that is the reason I will never ever figure it out. I will never ever figure it out. So that's the why we have to figure out is why you keep allowing it to happen. So instead of this, so this is something I quote from the book. I looked into how many people pleasing were something we misperceived as being nice, but really it was the core reason for unhealthy boundaries. A lot of us, we want to people please people. We just want to make like harmony. So we want to please other people. That is something that is the reason why, the main reason for unhealthy boundaries. So some of you will read this book so that, the author actually want you to become more confident at telling others what is acceptable and what is not, to free up your time. Yes, to free up your own time, or stop taking part of the things that you don't want to. This is something very key. For me, is to really have that boundaries so that I can reclaim back my own time. This is something I want to do. So others might be want to look for more respect, peace, or love. So this is something. So the journey. So the author actually highlight about this. The journey may be hard. So it will require a close look at yourself and why you do the things that you do. This is a very important. And we are going to learn how to let go of the guilt. Oh, this is so crazy important. A lot of us, because we cannot set the boundaries because we have that feeling of guilt. So this is like we would love to learn how to let go of the guilt that arises when we set the boundaries and how to free ourselves from the fear of losing people in the process of creating these boundaries. So First of all, we must know about what is this boundaries about. When we talk about boundaries, what is this boundaries? So boundaries are the limits that we set for ourselves in a relationship. So a healthy boundaries is the one that you feel comfortable, yes, expressing your thoughts, your feelings, and the word no, so that you can appreciate closer connections. This is something very important for you to know because it is it's a very good start for you to take a step back. Take a step back to think and to consider how you want to see boundaries. So you need to know the definition first, right? So now when we come back to here, worst situation for you to find yourself is in a relationship that people don't care about your boundaries. There are so many different boundaries. So this book highlights 6 different boundaries from the physical boundaries to the material boundaries. So physical boundaries is more on physical abuse. And he want to highlight something which I really want to bring up to you is definitely include knowing when you need a rest. When you need a rest and take some time for yourself. As a nutrition coach, I just want to let you know this is called a physical boundaries, right? If you want to have that time for yourself, then if you need a rest, that is a physical boundaries. If other people violate that, I can become very nervous. Okay, so second boundaries is about emotional boundaries, time boundaries, and it's very rude and disrespect to make someone wait. And this one, I think Gideon and I can relate so much, right? Because Gideon and I just can't let people wait for us, right? Gideon,
Yeah.
I just feel like I want to ask you this one. Every time we meet up physical, meaning that we meet up in a restaurant for our lunch most of the time. So why you would love to show up earlier than others? I mean, let's say I'm there and you still want to be earlier than me. Why?
No, I just feel that it's respecting the other person time. Yeah. And you also show that you respect yourself, right?
Yes, that's the reason why we are very on the dot or earlier. So we never want to be late. So when we late, we feel like, oh, this is a disrespect to others and also to ourselves. So this is something I feel like very important to highlight here for the time boundaries and also about sexual boundaries, intellectual boundaries, and also material boundaries. So there are so many. So we just want to highlight this few. Then I want to bring you through more important in-depth questions that really can help you to discover and create their boundaries. So first of all, I want you to know about this, and the author want you to know about this is setting boundaries is not easy. Okay? And you need to start with the right mind frame and a can-do attitude. Yes, you must tell yourself that I can do this. Because if you tell yourself that you cannot do this, it will not serve you. It will not be successful. So now there are 7 deep questions that you can help yourself to discover more about yourself to create the boundaries. First, what are the positives and negatives of your relationships? Second, do you do things out of love or fear? Third, what makes your blood boil? Really, think about this. You know, I just feel like why I take a slow journey reading this book is because to answer all these questions, I take a closer look at myself. What makes your blood boil? I know that, Gideon, every one of us, we have that limit. Yeah, what makes our blood boil? So, if you don't mind, can you share what makes your blood boil?
Um,
Sure, no.
I think I think respect is my number one value. So if people don't respect me or and it sometimes make me not happy, or to say boy, right? So I think respect is quite high. I like respect my value, respect my boundaries, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so. I think a
How
lot
about
of
you?
actually, yes, respect is also one of it.
Okay.
If those people do not respect me, I just feel like we are not in the same frequency to talk. So I will very quiet. I won't have any contact anymore with these toxic people. So that's the also one of my very, very things that really put my blood boil. Okay, so now number four, if you had unlimited time and money, what would you do? So this is a thing that you frequently don't get to do because you are unable to do it because you want to help others. So this is something I want you to take a closer look and deep thinking about that is when you say yes to one thing means that you are saying no to other things. So if you say yes to help these things that other people request from you, and then you are saying no to yourself, to those things that you want to do so much for yourself. So think about this. This is some key questions that can really let you write it down. So number five, what is on your bucket list? Number six, what do you love doing as a child? Number seven, are you a human being or human doing? Oh, human being or human doing. So being ourselves is different from doing. You do things, it doesn't mean that you are being yourself. So think about this. So this author, okay, Chase Hill, he highlight about this, the real reason why some people don't have boundaries. We have six. So listen closely. So Gideon, I will ask you also which one is your top one. Okay. So number one, people call me selfish when I try to set boundaries. Second, it's just easier to say yes. Third, even though I know the relationship is bad and I'm scared of ending it. Number four, I don't set boundaries because I worry that my family will love me less. Number five, people will see me as boring. Number six, I can't set boundaries because people need me. So this is all six real reason that Chase Hill he highlight that why some people don't have the boundaries. So let me share mine first. Okay, mine is number six. The reason is like I can't see boundaries. I can't set boundaries because people need me. That particularly highlight to a lot of case that happen within my family setting, my parents, my siblings, and or even my relatives. So it's like I can see they need me so much that that's the time that I can't set the boundaries. That is the reason why I take a long journey to study and to really practice and improve how to set the healthy boundaries within the family members. So that is my reason I study about healthy boundaries. Gideon, what is about you? Which one is
No, no. I just want to know like further from yours.
yeah.
So when you do set your boundaries, so the people like your family member, they still can survive, right?
No one dies.
No
No
one
one
die. Okay,
dies.
okay. So I think, yeah, I think it's just that can do. I mean, we just have to believe can do. So for me is um point number one. So the reason I sometimes I don't set boundaries because I feel people call me selfish when I try to set boundaries. But I try to counter this as um try to have more when you set boundary, you actually self love, self love yourself. Don't call it selfish. I mean self love. You have to self love yourself, and then and hopefully, right, we can stop people who want to say whatever like selfish, um, because people just want to get advantage of you, and they will call you selfish, right, so that they can get something done. So yeah, so this is my right.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. For those are listening right now, please, you can always think about this. What is the main real reason, right? So next, I want to share is before I want to share about guilt, we need to highlight one thing is this author Chase Hill, he really highlight one very important key that I love so much. It's about taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself to boost your energy and inner strength. Why? Because we need a lot of inner strength to set boundaries. Don't underestimate the energy that you need to use to set your boundaries because that really need a lot of your effort,
Yeah.
of your energy. Because especially you are a newbie like me, oh dear, this is like taking me so much of energy. And I'm so glad that I'm grateful that I know how to take care of myself first. I know how to have that inner strength. So when I set the boundaries, it takes some time to practice it. So now we jump into the topic about guilt. How to overcome your feeling of guilt. All right. Guilt arises because we have put our own wishes before others. And the second we do this, we begin to feel as if we are selfish, right? And it is possible to feel guilty because the other people, the other person needs you, or just because you have come across as being mean and not caring. So setting boundaries is nothing to feel guilty about because it is teaching others that there has to be a balance, all right, in a relationship. They need to have the balance of the give and take. Okay? You can't always give all the time. You can't always take all the time. You need to have that balance, right? Now, an important part of having boundaries is recognizing that we all have the limits, both physically and emotionally. This is like something that I don't know back then. So it's like I thought that I can do super good, 100%, 110% for every single case that come to me. But until I admit to myself that I have my own limits physically, and emotionally. That is a time that I need to reclaim back my space. So you need to dedicate time to yourself so that you are in a better position to help others when they need it. There's a main reason why I need to set healthier boundaries so that I can help others when they really need it. All right. So this is something I want to highlight is you need to keep telling yourself that guilt is just an emotion, that there's no place in the process. It's normal for you to feel the guilt. For me, when I set the boundaries with my parents, especially, I have this intense guilt in myself. I'm not lying to you, it's true. I have that intense guilt sometimes. So I keep telling myself that this is an emotion, all right, and it shall pass. It will pass. So over the time of practicing, I feel the guilt is getting less and less, or even none in certain of the case. So that's why I want to highlight is you have to remember the guilt is an emotion. For those people, you have a kind heart like me, you will tend to say yes to those people you feel that they need you. But sometimes you just need to feel like you need that boundary so that you can reclaim back time for yourself. Now, there are 7 steps that this author highlight that you can do. Okay, first, take a step back and stop talking. Take a deep breath and give yourself a second to compose your thoughts. Second, remind yourself that setting boundaries is a good thing. And third, don't apologize or feel that you have to justify your words. Sometimes we tend to explain, no need. You do not need to explain. Other people will not understand you. They will forever won't understand your reason for that. And number 4, keep in mind that the activity that you would rather be doing instead of what the other person is asking of you. Number 5, smile. Smiling keeps you to express your thoughts confidently and without coming across as being mean. 6. Don't punish yourself if you still feel guilty. It's normal to feel guilty, right? And time is going to help. So, but the initial goal is to have other people to respect your boundaries. So this number 7, don't let setbacks put you off trying again. Means you need to keep trying. Sometimes you won't be successful in the first try. If you already let the other people to invade in your boundaries for years, especially, and it is impossible for you the first time you set the boundaries, you will be successful. It will take some time to try. I have my own experience that I take about 3 to 4 times of trying, only I get to the point. That is a long time for me. It's not a short time. So these 7 steps teach you how to communicate your boundaries better. So it is going to take strength and perseverance to overcome guilt. I experience this so much because, as I mentioned to you, I feel the intense guilt, right? So I need that strength. I need that perseverance. It is not an easy job for you and me, but I believe so much and I have the can-do attitude. All right. So number 4, okay, not number 4. The point we talk about is there are also 7 steps to successfully communicate your boundaries here. Step number 1, know exactly what you want to say. You need to remain specific and clear. Step number 2, use I statement. Start the sentence with an I. There are the 2 core reasons why you need to do this. First, you need the conversation to be about your emotions and not the action of the other person. Second, I statement, why you need to use an I, to prevent you from making assumptions about the other person's feeling. That's the main 2 core reasons. Number 3, okay, or I want to give you an example before we jump to the step number 3. Example is like using the I statement as a start. I don't like when you don't let me finish what I'm saying. I need to feel like we are equal. Use the I in the front. Step number 3, listen to what other people has to say. Don't interrupt them and don't assume that you know how they are feeling and what they are thinking. Repeat what they have to say so that they know you are listening. Step number 4, be aware of each other's triggers. Just like I know, like Gideon, his number 1 thing that can make his blood boil is respect, right? Knowing him, we respect whatever boundaries that he has. So it means that don't go to the trigger and try not to be late. If you're late, he will be, you are disrespect my time. So without a reason, right? With a solid, valid reason, once in a while is perfectly okay. So it's like knowing each other trigger. So number 5, make your expectation clear. Half of the boundaries is how you feel, and the other half is the behavior that you would like to see changed. Number 6, apologize when necessary. Saying sorry is not a sign of weakness. Number 7, accept that people are going to have different opinions and it is not possible to agree on everything. All right? This is also one kind of respect. So in this book, this author actually highlights so many different case-to-case basis to parents, your children, your spouse, your friends, and your co-workers in each of the different chapters, because each of the different relationship will have a different scenario, right? So great book to discover when it comes to different case scenario. So, and the last thing is I want to highlight with you is you will have to get tougher. You need to be tough. You need to have that strength to set their boundaries. Learning to say learning to say no is very, very crucial, but don't make it like your only answer. Okay. So, and celebrate every wins if you have, the boundaries that you successfully set. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder, celebrate that. This is so awesome. And take each day one at a time and remain determined. Yes, you need that determination, the perseverance to achieve the wonderful life that you have envisioned because it is always like you want to protect yourself in a plate. So this session is especially important for those people that are so kind and they would love to do say yes to everybody. If you are the person that always say no to someone, this is not the episode that you would love to indulge yourself with. So, and always let us know what is the aha moment you get from this book after I share for almost about 20 minutes. And let me know in the comment section and see you in the next episode.